Alright, let's play a little game. What's the most insane bridge you've ever seen? A tiny rope bridge swaying over a canyon? A highway hanging in midair? Or maybe a bridge so high it touches the clouds? Well, get ready, because today we're diving into 7 mind-blowing bridges built over some of the most impossible terrains on Earth. How did engineers pull these off? And would you dare to cross them? Stick around, because some of these bridges might just leave you breathless. Millau Viaduct, France. Alright, picture this. You're driving through France and suddenly, you're above the clouds. No, you didn't take a wrong turn onto a runway. You're on the Millau Viaduct, the tallest bridge in the world. At a staggering 343 meters high, this bridge isn't just a road, it's an engineering masterpiece that defies gravity. Designed by Sir Norman Foster, the Millau Viaduct stretches 2.46 kilometers across the Tarn Valley. Before it was built, this area was notorious for traffic jams, with tourists clogging up the roads every summer. The solution? Build a bridge that soars above the valley itself. It's held up by 7 massive pylons, each taller than the Eiffel Tower's 2nd floor. Yeah, this bridge makes even some skyscrapers look tiny. But here's the real mind-bender. The construction process was almost as insane as the bridge itself. Engineers built it sideways and then slid it into place using hydraulic jacks. Think of it like assembling Lego pieces in mid-air. The result? A structure so elegant and strong that it barely vibrates, even in 130 kilometers per hour winds. And let's talk about the view. If you're lucky, you'll drive through a layer of fog where only the bridge and sky exist, making it feel like you're cruising through heaven. It's no wonder people actually take detours just to drive across it. Would you dare to drive across this floating road in the sky? Langkawi Sky Bridge, Malaysia. Now let's swap cars for pure adrenaline. Imagine standing on a bridge that curves through the sky, with nothing but a steel railing between you and a 700-meter drop. Welcome to the Langkawi Sky Bridge, one of the most breathtaking and slightly terrifying pedestrian bridges on the planet. This bridge isn't your ordinary straight path. It's a swooping, curved structure designed to give visitors the illusion of floating over the rainforest. Suspended by a single towering pylon, this 125-meter-long bridge dangles above Gunung Mat Chinkang, the 2nd highest peak in Langkawi. And here's the kicker, you can only reach it by cable car. Yep. Before you even step onto the bridge, you have to survive a steep, sky-high ride just to get there. The bridge was designed to be as non-intrusive as possible, blending into nature rather than dominating it. Instead of cutting through the mountains, engineers suspended it over the landscape, making it a perfect example of eco-friendly architecture. But let's be real. The biggest attraction here is the thrill. Walking across it, you can actually feel it sway in the wind, and when you look down it's nothing but treetops, rocks, and sheer cliffs beneath you. If you're afraid of heights, this bridge might just cure you, or make it worse. But one thing's for sure, you'll never forget the experience. Would you step onto this gravity-defying masterpiece? Eshima Ohashi Bridge, Japan. Alright, buckle up because this bridge is about to test your nerves. Welcome to the Eshima Ohashi Bridge, or as some call it, the roller coaster bridge. Seriously, at first glance you'd think it was designed by a theme park engineer, not a civil one. This 1.7-kilometer-long monster stretches over Lake Nakami, connecting the cities of Matsue and Sakaiminato. But here's where things get crazy. The incline is so steep that from a distance it looks nearly vertical. Now imagine driving up that. You press the gas, the road starts rising, and suddenly it feels like you're climbing a skyscraper. Your heart's pounding, your hands grip the wheel tighter, and you pray your brakes are working when you come back down. The bridge was built with a 6.1% incline on one side, and a 5.1% on the other, which doesn't sound bad, until you're the one behind the wheel. So why was it built this way? Simple, to let ships pass underneath. Instead of using a drawbridge, engineers decided to go full send and design a structure tall enough for large boats to fit below. The result? A bridge that looks straight out of a Fast and Furious stunt scene. But don't let its terrifying look fool you. It's actually completely safe. Vehicles drive up and down it every day without issue, though first-timers definitely experience a mini heart attack, and if you're on foot, well, too bad, you can only admire its dizzying height from afar. So, would you be brave enough to floor the gas and take the ride, or are you taking the long way around? Royal Gorge Bridge, USA. Alright, here's one for the thrill seekers. Because the Royal Gorge Bridge isn't just a bridge, it's a vertigo-inducing nightmare hanging over a deep canyon. Sitting 291 meters above the Arkansas River, This suspension bridge in Colorado was once the highest bridge in the world, and guess what? It still holds the record as America's highest suspension bridge. Picture this, you're walking across the 384-meter-long wooden deck, and the wind starts howling through the gorge. You feel the bridge sway slightly beneath your feet, and when you look down, bam! It's a straight drop into the canyon. No guardrails high enough to block the view. Just you, a few planks of wood, and a massive chasm waiting below. And here's a fun fact, this bridge was built in 1929 in just 7 months, without the modern safety equipment we have today. No drones, no fancy machines, just some daring workers securing wooden planks hundreds of meters above the ground. Imagine being one of those guys casually hammering nails with nothing but air beneath your boots. But don't worry, today, the bridge is reinforced and part of the Royal Gorge Bridge and Park, where visitors can walk across, ride an aerial gondola, or even take a zip line straight over the canyon. Oh, and if that's not thrilling enough, there's also the Sky Coaster, a giant swing that hurls you over the edge at 80 kilometers per hour. Yep, this place was made for adrenaline junkies. So, do you think you'd dare to walk across? Or would your legs give out before you even reach the middle? The Devil's Bridge, Germany. Alright, forget modern engineering for a second because this bridge isn't about steel and concrete. It's about magic, mystery, and a little bit of devilish charm. Welcome to Rakottsbrücke, also known as the Devil's Bridge, a place so eerie and mesmerizing it looks like it belongs in a fantasy movie. Tucked away in Kromlauer Park, Germany, this 19th century bridge isn't just a path across the water, it's a perfect circle thanks to its breathtaking reflection in the lake below. That's right, stand at the right angle and the bridge and its reflection form a flawless ring, almost too perfect, which is why legend says it wasn't built by humans alone. According to the myth, the architect made a deal with the devil himself to complete this seemingly impossible design. But of course the devil doesn't work for free, he demanded the soul of the first person to cross it. The builder, being clever, tricked the devil by sending a random animal across instead. Furious at being outwitted, the devil vanished, but his eerie presence is said to linger around the bridge even today. And here's the kicker, you can't walk on it anymore. To preserve its delicate structure, authorities banned crossings. But honestly, just standing near it, watching the mist roll over the water, is enough to send chills down your spine. In autumn, when the trees explode in fiery reds and oranges, it looks like something straight out of a dark fairy tale. So, what do you think? Would you stand near the Devil's Bridge at dusk, or would you be too afraid of what might be watching from the shadows? Baluarte Bridge, Mexico. Alright, now we're talking about a bridge so high it practically touches the clouds. Meet Baluarte Bridge, a record-breaking engineering marvel that stands at a jaw-dropping 403 meters above the Baluarte River. That's taller than the Empire State Building, and it's one of the highest cable-stayed bridges in the entire world. Located deep in the Sierra Madre Occidental Mountains, this bridge was built to connect Sinaloa and Durango, two Mexican states separated by some of the most brutal terrain imaginable. Before it was built, travelers had to endure a dangerous winding road that snaked through steep cliffs and deadly drop-offs. But in 2012, engineers decided to take on the impossible, constructing a 1,124-meter-long bridge that slices through the mountains like a blade. But let's talk about the real thrill, driving across it. Imagine this. You're cruising along the highway and suddenly, the ground beneath you disappears. All you see is the sky stretching out ahead, with the canyon gaping 400 meters below. The wind howls, the bridge subtly vibrates, and you can't help but wonder, what if I just stopped the car right here? And here's the wild part. When it was inaugurated, it was officially recognized by Guinness World Records as the highest cable-stayed bridge on the planet. But don't let its height scare you. This bridge is a lifeline for trade and travel, drastically cutting down journey times and bringing isolated regions closer together. So would you drive across this sky-high marvel? Or would you take one look at the canyon below and turn the car around? Langwieser Viaduct, Switzerland. Alright, imagine this. You're on a train cutting through the Swiss Alps, the crisp mountain air swirling around you. Everything is peaceful. Until suddenly the ground beneath the tracks vanishes. Your heart skips a beat as you realize you're crossing the Langwieser Viaduct, a century-old bridge that defies both gravity and logic. Built in 1914, this 284-meter-long railway bridge stretches across the Plesher River Valley, towering 62 meters above the rocky abyss. But here's the insane part, it was constructed using only reinforced concrete. a technology that was still in its infancy at the time. In fact, this was one of the first large-scale concrete railway bridges in the world, and skeptics doubted it would even hold up against the brutal alpine weather. Well, guess what? Over 100 years later, it's still standing strong. Not only that, but it continues to serve the Rhaetian Railway, carrying passengers through some of the most breathtaking landscapes in Switzerland. And let's be real, if you're on board, the view is nothing short of magical. The snow-covered peaks, the dense forests, the deep valley below, it's like traveling through a postcard brought to life. But here's where it gets even more heart-racing. When winter arrives, this bridge is often blanketed in snow and ice, making it feel like something out of a survival movie. And yet, trains continue to glide across it, proving just how flawless its design truly is. So, would you sit back and enjoy the once-in-a-lifetime views? Or would you grip your seat, praying the train doesn't make a sudden stop over the abyss? And there you have it. 7 mind-blowing bridges that defy gravity, logic, and fear. Which one amazed you the most? And more importantly, would you dare to cross them? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this journey through engineering marvels, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to DwellScape for more incredible architecture and design wonders. Hit that bell icon so you never miss an episode. Until next time, keep exploring the world, one masterpiece at a time.